Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So I am a firm believer that people want what they don't have, especially when it comes to their bodies. And I have to say, I'm guilty of it too. With social media the way it is, it gives people an unrealistic expectation of how they're supposed to look. I'm not skinny enough, I'm too skinny, I need bigger boobs, my boobs are too big, I need a bigger butt, my butt's too big, etc. I don't intend this video to be a verbal research paper on the effects society has on body image, but it's a good way to segue into my own journey. For many who have struggled, like myself, with weight, body image, losing weight is a lot less eat right, work out, done. And it's more of a psychological struggle. It's a lifestyle change that is really hard to change if your mind is not in it. It's hard to remember the initial, bam, body image is important to society. But I do remember one from a long time ago. I don't know if it's the first instance of society coming down on me, in a sense, but it's the first one I remember. And it's the first one that seems to be very impactful for me. I don't remember the exact conversations that went on and exactly what was said, but I know what was being implied. I remember it was a long time ago at my Nana's house. My Nana is my father's mother. I remember my parents were there and my aunt was there. My sister was probably there, but I don't remember. And I remember them telling me that I have to be careful what I eat and I need to watch what I eat so I don't get big. And I remember not really knowing what that was about. I feel like that's why it's the first time that it made me question, does my size prove my worth? And then it did not help that I was bullied for my weight in middle school. Now I want to say I was not that big. I wish I was as big as I was in middle school. I know a lot of us feel that way with how our weight struggles go. I remember the name that I was called was a fat ballerina, and it was a constant hit at me because I did dance. I did dancing from age 3 or 4 all the way until I graduated high school. And it didn't stop me. It did not stop me because it was something I loved to do and it made me feel good. Being called a fat ballerina did not help my view on myself and how I looked. It also didn't help that the friends I had around me at the time either didn't hear it happening even though they were there, or they just didn't care. On top of all that, I also had a lot of depression and anxiety. And along with dance being a comfort to me, so was food. And then I convinced myself in dance classes that if I did more sit-ups and I strengthened my core, it would eliminate my stomach fat. Fun fact, it doesn't. It helps, but it's not the end-all cure-all of belly fat. I ended up being really good at sit-ups. My dance teacher even applauded me for how strong my core was when we did competitions and how long we could do sit-up-like positions. It was always cool, but it didn't help that it didn't slim me down. Another thing that bothered me, and it was in dance, but I was always put as the man if we did couples dancing or anything like that because I was larger. I wasn't delusional. I knew I wasn't one of the thin dancers, but I did not let that bother me. My worst weight gain happened at the end of my college years, particularly the last 2 years I had in college. I had hit my heaviest weight. It was around 215, 220 pounds. And I'm aware that doesn't sound like a lot for someone who wants to lose a decent amount of weight, but I'm 5'2", so I'm short. So holding a lot of weight really shows. The first diet I tried, I guess I might have tried other diets, but the only one I remember trying was Dukan. And that's because my aunt was doing it and she found really good results with it. My mom and my sister were doing it and I'm like, I'll try it too. Now, it's a lot like keto, where you have a lot of meat, but you cut out the carbs, basically like that. And the biggest issue I had with this, I love carbs. I love pasta, bread, cake, sugar, things like that. I struggled a lot on this diet, and I knew it wasn't going to last because I wasn't going to force myself to live without those kind of foods. What made me realize it was going to be possible for me to lose weight is realizing once I moved out of my family's home that portion sizes when I was at home eating with my parents were very large portion sizes to what when I was living on my own and I ate what I was hungry for. I realized it wasn't the big grand meals that I would have at home. It was small little bits. And I realized with some calorie counting that that was more of a well-balanced sized portion, what I was eating on my own. And what I was eating at home was large portions. It also doesn't help that even when I go home now, when we're sitting for dinner and I'm finishing up and there's a little bit of food left on the stove and they're like, "Hey, you want to finish this off?" And I say, "Oh, no, thank you. No, I'm done. Thank you. I'm full." They come over, put it on my plate. Then we don't have to put it for leftovers. That doesn't help. It guilts me into eating something I'm not hungry for. I'm really lucky that dealing with depression and anxiety with all this that I didn't end up with an eating disorder. I don't know whether or not I had binging episodes, but I'm not necessarily talking about that one right now. I think anorexia was never an option for me because of how much I found comfort in food. So I always wondered how I didn't end up with bulimia. But then thinking about it, I realized, I really hate throwing up. If you don't like hearing about throwing up, skip forward about 30 seconds or so. I didn't realize that normal people don't throw up out of their nose like I do. That hurts. It goes up into the sinuses and it burns and you get chunks in your nose. That's probably what made me not want to go that route. But bypassing all that, I was doing really well on my weight loss journey before this pandemic. I would work and then after work I'd go straight to Planet Fitness and I'd do workouts for an hour and then I'd come home. And now with this pandemic and Planet Fitness being closed, I lost my easy access to working out with a routine. So I'm going to start a weekly vlog about my dieting and exercising and update you guys on how it's going. And then you can put down in the comments, how are things working out with you? We can give each other encouragement. And I think that's going to hold us to what we want to do. It'll definitely hold me to what I want to get accomplished. And I'd love for you guys to be on the journey with me. So I'll be creating a vlog in the next week or so, and sometime next week I'll upload it. And I hope to see you guys there. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. If you don't, that's okay. And I'll see you next time. Bye.